All right, so I'm gonna play this clip and then I'm gonna respond to it.
Threat the DeepSeek does pose is open source. But what happens when Trump knocks on somebody's door, maybe Elon's, and say, hey, make Grok AI open source so we don't have to deal with this threat in China? Then what? DeepSeek, you're screwed. I'll wait till the second hour to curse. Thank you to the families and the parents that watch with your kids. Love you.
Okay, so that's not quite how open source models compete. So I'm gonna give you some information from a technical perspective and not a stock trader perspective, because I think it's some inadvertent misinformation going on. DeepSeek is not trying to compete with NVIDIA or compete with OpenAI. What it did was duplicate what you can do with OpenAI, the O1 model, for way less money. So what it did was open the floor up for competitors. So people can come in and be like, oh, instead of you paying $200 a month for a chat GPT, you can now create your own version for $30. And then instead of NVIDIA selling billions of chips around the world globally, instead of you needing 1,000 NVIDIA chips, you can do it with 5 chips. So what they did was kick the leg out from under the two companies, meaning oh, well, why am I going to be paying OpenAI for this service when I can do it myself? Or so it's opened up the arena to competition, which is good for consumers, economy, but it's bad from a GDP perspective because we ship NVIDIA chips all over, the world. And so we had put a block against China from being able to receive the most powerful version of the NVIDIA chip. And they show that you don't need that chip, even though there's some discrepancy whether or not they used it or not. But it's too late now because it's open source. Everyone can see the code and duplicate it. So it's created a more competitive arena. So it's more like a soft cyber attack than it is like a new competitor in the space. It's like a virus that spreads. So when you are looking at the market, you don't want to look at it like, oh, will it beat NVIDIA? You want to look at it like, who's the next NVIDIA now? Or who's the next OpenAI, which is more likely. Because you're still going to need the NVIDIA chips. They're going to be around for a minute. They're doing their thing. But it's more of all right, people can now compete in this space and do more things with it. You don't have to all go through this monopoly that was being created.